Chapter 1. The Dream of Fluency. Lily had always dreamed of speaking English like a native speaker. Growing up in a small town, she often felt isolated from the world outside her borders. English was the global language, and she longed to communicate with people from different countries, share her thoughts, and make friends worldwide. Every time she watched a Hollywood movie or listened to an English song, she felt a mix of admiration and envy. The way the actors delivered their lines with such ease and how the singers expressed their emotions through lyrics fascinated her. Lily spent countless hours listening to her favorite English songs. Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran were her top choices. She loved the melodies and the stories behind the lyrics. However, whenever she tried to sing along, she struggled with the words and pronunciation. "Why is it so hard?" she would think. "Why can't I sound like them?" At school, Lily excelled in her English classes. She understood grammar rules, could read novels, and even wrote short stories. However, speaking was an entirely different challenge. When it came to speaking, her mind would go blank, and her heart would race. She was often too shy to participate in class discussions, fearing she might make mistakes. Determined to improve her speaking skills, Lily decided to take action. One sunny afternoon, she decided to visit the local library. She wanted to find books that could help her improve her speaking skills. As she walked through the aisles, she took a deep breath, her heart beating with a mix of excitement and nervousness. She loved libraries. They were places of knowledge and endless possibilities. Lily wandered through the rows of books, running her fingers along the spines, scanning titles and authors. She stopped at the language section and noticed a variety of books on English learning, how to speak English fluently, mastering English pronunciation, and idioms for everyday conversations. Each book seemed to call out to her. As she flipped through the pages of one particular book, she stumbled upon a title that caught her eye, How to Speak Like a Native. Intrigued, she took the book home, feeling hopeful that it would provide the guidance she needed. Sitting in her cozy room later that evening, Lily eagerly began to read. The book was filled with valuable tips on pronunciation, idioms, and natural expressions. It emphasized the importance of listening to native speakers and practicing regularly. The advice resonated with her, and she felt motivated. "This is what I need," she thought, feeling a surge of determination. As the days passed, Lily dedicated herself to a structured practice routine. She decided to focus on listening first, knowing that comprehension was the foundation of effective communication. Each morning after breakfast, she would sit at her desk with her headphones on, ready to immerse herself in English. She found podcasts, audiobooks, and TV shows that catered to her interests. Lily started with simple podcasts designed for English learners. The hosts spoke clearly and slowly, making it easier for her to follow along. She listened to episodes about travel, culture, and everyday life. Each day, she dedicated at least an hour to listening, taking notes on new vocabulary and expressions that she found interesting. At first, it was challenging. She would pause the audio to repeat phrases aloud, trying to mimic the pronunciation and intonation. Sometimes, she would laugh at how funny she sounded, especially when trying to imitate the accents of different speakers. But slowly, she began to notice improvements. She could understand more, and her ability to imitate the way people spoke grew stronger. Feeling encouraged, Lily expanded her listening practice. She discovered a popular TV show called Friends. Her friends often talked about it, and she decided to watch it with English subtitles. The humor and relatable characters drew her in. She found herself laughing and engaging with the dialogue, making it easier to grasp everyday expressions. However, despite her progress, Lily still felt a sense of nervousness when it came time to speak. She wanted to practice what she had learned, but the thought of making mistakes terrified her. One day, she gathered her courage and decided to join an English conversation group in her city. It was a gathering of people who wanted to practice speaking English. When she arrived at the first meeting, she sat quietly at a table in the corner, listening to the lively discussions around her. People shared their thoughts on travel, food, and hobbies, and Lily felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. She admired their confidence and wished she could join in, but as she listened, she reminded herself of the progress she had made. Suddenly, a friendly face approached her. "Hi there, I'm Mark. What's your name?" he asked with a warm smile. "Lily," she replied, her voice slightly shaky. "Nice to meet you." "Lily, are you enjoying the conversation?" Mark asked. Lily nodded, feeling a little more at ease. "Yes, it's interesting. I love learning about other cultures." "Me too. Do you have a favorite place you'd like to visit?" Mark inquired. Lily took a deep breath. "I want to go to London. I love the culture and the history there." Mark smiled and encouraged her. "That's awesome! I've been there, and it's incredible. You'll love it." As the evening continued, Lily found the courage to share her thoughts. She spoke about her dreams of traveling and her passion for learning. Everyone listened attentively, and as she talked, she felt a sense of belonging. Over the next few weeks, Lily attended the group regularly. Each time she spoke a little more, gaining confidence. She learned to use casual expressions like, "How's it going?" and "I'm all ears." Her friends praised her progress, and their encouragement fueled her desire to improve further. One evening, during a conversation practice session, Lily made a mistake while sharing a story about her favorite vacation. She used the wrong verb tense and immediately felt embarrassed. Her cheeks flushed as she realized her error. But then one of her friends, Sarah, smiled and said, "That's okay. Mistakes help us learn." Lily realized that making mistakes was part of the learning process. Instead of dwelling on her errors, she began to embrace them. Whenever she made a mistake, she would laugh, correct herself, and continue speaking. This positive attitude made her feel free to express herself without fear. As Lily's speaking skills improved, she wanted to learn more about English-speaking cultures. She discovered various movies and music from different countries, including the USA, Canada, and the UK. Watching these films and listening to the music not only entertained her, but also exposed her to new phrases and slang that were popular in different regions. One Saturday afternoon, Lily decided to invite a few friends over for a movie marathon. She chose a selection of English films that showcased various accents and cultures. As they settled on the couch with popcorn, she felt excited to share her love for English cinema with her friends. They laughed, discussed the plots, and even tried to imitate the accents of different characters. Through these experiences, Lily started incorporating the new expressions and slang she learned into her conversations. Her friends noticed how she was sounding more like a native speaker. They loved her enthusiasm and the way she embraced different cultures. Lily felt proud of her progress, and each day her confidence grew. One day, as she walked home from her English conversation group, Lily reflected on her journey so far. She realized that her determination, practice, and willingness to embrace challenges had made all the difference. She had come a long way from the shy girl who once struggled to speak. Lily's journey to fluency was just beginning, but she felt empowered. She had learned that speaking like a native was not only about perfect pronunciation, it was about being confident, open to mistakes, and embracing every opportunity to communicate. As she reached her doorstep, she felt a sense of excitement about the adventures ahead. Lily was ready to continue her journey, knowing that each step brought her closer to her dream of speaking English fluently and confidently. Chapter 2. The Power of Listening. Lily woke up the next morning with a renewed sense of purpose. The sun streamed through her window, casting a warm glow across her room. She was excited to dive deeper into her journey toward fluency. As she got ready for the day, she thought about how important it was to immerse herself in the language, especially through listening. After breakfast, Lily settled at her desk with her notebook and a cup of tea. She made a list of podcasts, audiobooks, and TV shows she wanted to explore. The first item on her list was a podcast called English with Lucy. She had heard great things about it from her friends, and it promised to be both informative and entertaining. With her headphones on, Lily pressed play. Lucy's clear voice filled her ears, and she listened intently as Lucy discussed common phrases used in everyday conversations. Lily found herself jotting down new expressions, repeating them aloud to practice her pronunciation. She loved the way Lucy explained the meanings behind each phrase, making it easy for Lily to understand how to use them in context. Feeling motivated, Lily set a goal. She would listen to at least one episode each day. This small commitment made a big difference in her learning. Each day, she discovered new phrases that she could incorporate into her speech. She was beginning to feel more like a native speaker, even if just a little. One day, while listening to a podcast about travel, Lily heard a phrase she had never encountered before: off the beaten path. She loved the imagery of exploring places that were not crowded with tourists. Excited to use it, she made a mental note to bring it up in her conversation group that week. As the days turned into weeks, Lily became more adventurous in her listening choices. She started to explore audiobooks, picking up novels she had always wanted to read but found too challenging before. She chose stories that intrigued her, like The Fault in Our Stars and Harry Potter. Listening to these books not only improved her understanding of the language, but also allowed her to experience different storytelling styles. During her listening sessions, Lily also paid close attention to the accents and tones of the narrators. She noticed how their emotions influenced the way they spoke. Sometimes they were cheerful, other times serious or dramatic. This realization helped her understand that tone played a significant role in communication. One Saturday afternoon, while enjoying a particularly engaging chapter from Harry Potter, Lily had an idea. She decided to record herself reading passages aloud. This way, she could hear her own pronunciation and identify areas for improvement. After a few attempts, she felt proud of how much she had progressed. Listening to herself, she could hear the clarity and emotion in her voice, which made her smile. Encouraged by her progress, Lily began to explore TV shows with English subtitles. She had always been a fan of romantic comedies, so she picked a series called Love Actually. As she watched, she noticed how the characters used natural expressions, slang, and humor. She made sure to pause the show to repeat lines and practice her pronunciation. One day, as she was watching, a scene caught her attention. One character said, "Let's grab a bite." Lily had heard that expression before, but never understood its meaning. She paused the episode and wrote it down, eager to learn how to use it in her conversations. As she continued her listening journey, Lily found herself becoming more comfortable with the language. One afternoon, while at her local cafe, she overheard a group of tourists speaking in English. Instead of feeling shy, she felt a spark of curiosity. She wanted to join in the conversation to practice what she had learned. Gathering her courage, Lily approached their table. "Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Are you visiting from abroad?" she asked with a friendly smile. The tourists looked up, surprised but pleased. "Yes, we're from Australia. We're exploring this lovely town," one of them replied. "That's great. I'm Lily. I'm practicing my English. What's your favorite place you've visited so far?" she inquired, feeling a rush of excitement. As they chatted, Lily felt a mix of nerves and joy. She practiced her listening skills by attentively following their responses. She asked questions and shared her thoughts, and before she knew it, an hour had passed. They exchanged stories about their travels, and Lily felt a sense of belonging as they laughed together. After their conversation, she walked home with a big smile on her face. Engaging with native speakers had given her a boost of confidence. She realized that listening was a powerful tool that allowed her to connect with others and understand the language more deeply. That evening, Lily sat down to reflect on her experiences. She opened her journal and wrote about her conversation with the tourists. She noted down new phrases they had used, like "grab a bite" and "take a stroll." It was a fantastic way to reinforce what she had learned and keep track of her progress. As the weeks continued, Lily's commitment to listening only grew stronger. She began to listen to various genres of music, from pop to rock to classical. Each song provided a unique perspective on the English language, and she found joy in deciphering the lyrics and discovering hidden meanings with each podcast episode, audiobook chapter, and TV show she watched. Lily was not just improving her English, she was also opening a door to new cultures and ideas. She felt as if she was traveling around the world from the comfort of her own home. One day, while browsing the library's online catalog, Lily discovered a language exchange program that paired English learners with native speakers. The program was designed for people who wanted to practice their language skills while helping others learn their own language. Feeling inspired, she signed up immediately, eager to take her journey to the next level. Through this program, Lily was paired with a native speaker named Liam. They connected over video calls, and their conversations were filled with laughter and learning. Liam was patient and encouraging, and they both enjoyed sharing stories about their cultures. As they spoke, Lily practiced her listening skills, picking up on Liam's expressions and mannerisms. He often used idioms that she had only read about. For instance, when discussing a recent trip, he said it was a piece of cake. Lily learned that it meant something was easy and added it to her list of phrases to remember. Through their sessions, Lily realized that speaking with native speakers made her feel more confident. She was learning not just the language, but also how to navigate conversations with ease. She was beginning to sound more like a native speaker, and it thrilled her. Lily's journey of listening and speaking was transforming her understanding of English. She was no longer just memorizing words. She was experiencing the language in a real and meaningful way. She could feel herself growing closer to her goal of fluency with each day. Lily was becoming a more confident speaker. She had learned that the power of listening extended beyond mere comprehension. It allowed her to connect with others, understand cultural nuances, and express herself more authentically. She was ready to continue her journey, excited for what lay ahead. Stay tuned for the next chapter in Lily's journey to speak like a native speaker. Chapter 3. Embracing Conversation. As Lily continued her journey toward fluency, she found herself more eager than ever to engage in conversation. The language exchange with Liam had ignited a passion for speaking that she hadn't fully tapped into before. She was beginning to see English not just as a subject in school, but as a living, breathing language full of life and expression. One bright morning, Lily woke up with an idea. She decided it was time to host her own English conversation gathering. She envisioned an informal get-together where she could invite her friends from the conversation group and the new friends she had made, including Liam, over a video call. It would be a relaxed atmosphere filled with laughter and learning, where everyone could practice their English together. Lily quickly got to work planning the event. She created a digital invitation outlining the purpose of the gathering: to practice speaking English while enjoying snacks and sharing stories. She set a date for the following Saturday, giving her friends enough time to mark their calendars. As the day approached, Lily felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would her friends show up? Would everyone feel comfortable speaking? She wanted to create a positive environment, and that was her main goal. On the day of the gathering, Lily prepared her home. She set up the living room with cushions on the floor for a cozy feel. She arranged a table with snacks, popcorn, cookies, and fresh fruit, and made sure to have drinks ready. As she arranged everything, she repeated her favorite phrases and expressions in her mind, reminding herself to stay confident. When her friends started arriving, Lily welcomed them with open arms. She felt a surge of warmth as they walked in, and soon the room was filled with chatter and laughter. They exchanged greetings and compliments about the cozy setup, and Lily felt her nervousness melt away. After everyone settled down, Lily explained the plan for the evening. "We're going to practice speaking English in a fun way. I have some conversation starters that we can use. Let's share stories about our favorite places, hobbies, and anything else that comes to mind." The group was enthusiastic, and they began by sharing stories about their dream travel destinations. Lily kicked off the conversation by describing her desire to visit London. "I've always wanted to see Big Ben, explore the British Museum, and walk along the River Thames. It sounds so beautiful." As she spoke, Lily noticed how her friends listened attentively, encouraging her with nods and smiles. This feeling of support filled her with confidence, and she encouraged them to share their own travel stories. One friend named Mark spoke about his recent trip to Japan, describing the vibrant culture and delicious food. I tried sushi for the first time there, and it was amazing. I loved visiting the cherry blossoms, too, he said with enthusiasm. Lily encouraged everyone to ask questions, and soon the room was buzzing with conversation. They swapped stories and jokes, learning from each other's experiences. The atmosphere was light and friendly, and Lily was thrilled to see her friends engaging with one another. After some time, Lily suggested they play a game. Let's play a word association game. I'll say a word, and then we each take turns saying a word that we associate with it, she proposed. The group agreed, and the game began. Lily started with the word travel, and they took turns, laughing at some of the unexpected connections. When it was Liam's turn on the video call, he said adventure, which sparked a lively discussion about adventurous experiences. As the evening continued, Lily felt herself growing more relaxed and natural in her speech. She wasn't just practicing, she was genuinely communicating and enjoying the connections being made. Each conversation flowed effortlessly, and she embraced the laughter and camaraderie that filled the room. Toward the end of the gathering, Lily took a moment to thank everyone for coming. I really appreciate all of you being here. This was so much fun. It helps me practice speaking, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. Her friends responded with cheerful cheers and applause. We loved it, Lily. We should do this more often, one friend exclaimed. Feeling inspired by the evening's success, Lily decided to make the gathering a monthly event. She knew that the more they practiced together, the more comfortable they would all become speaking English. The thought of having regular meetups filled her with excitement. As the night drew to a close, Lily reflected on how far she had come since starting her journey. The shy girl who once hesitated to speak was now facilitating conversation and enjoying meaningful connections with her friends. She felt empowered and motivated to continue improving her skills. After her friends left, Lily sat down with her journal, ready to record the night's experiences. She wrote about the fun conversations, the stories shared, and the joy of bringing her friends together. She also noted down new phrases she had learned during the gathering, like word association and dream travel destination. The following week, Lily continued to practice her speaking skills with Liam during their video calls. They shared experiences about their cultures, and each session became an exciting exchange of ideas and language. Liam also introduced her to various cultural expressions that were unique to British English, which Lily found fascinating. One day during their conversation, Liam mentioned an idiomatic expression. It's raining cats and dogs. Lily giggled, picturing actual cats and dogs falling from the sky. That's a funny way to say it's raining heavily, she said, writing it down in her notebook. Exactly. And it's a common expression, Liam replied, grinning. You can use it when the weather is really bad. Lily's enthusiasm for learning idioms grew, and she made it a goal to incorporate at least one idiom into her conversations each week. This new challenge brought an extra layer of excitement to her learning process. As her skills continued to improve, Lily began to feel a sense of pride in her progress. She was gaining confidence not just in speaking, but also in her ability to express her thoughts and feelings. She was discovering her voice in English. In the following weeks, Lily focused on various aspects of language learning. She worked on her pronunciation by repeating phrases from podcasts and songs. She practiced intonation and rhythm by shadowing native speakers. She even recorded herself reading short stories and listened back to identify areas for improvement. Every step of the way, Lily reminded herself that learning a language was a journey, not a race. She celebrated her successes no matter how small, and learned to be patient with herself during challenging moments. Each practice session, each conversation, and each new phrase learned brought her closer to her goal. With each passing day, Lily embraced her journey as an opportunity for growth and connection. She realized that speaking like a native speaker was not just about perfect grammar. It was about communication, understanding, and building relationships. As Lily continued to nurture her speaking skills, she looked forward to all the adventures ahead, both in learning and in life. She was ready to explore the world, make new friends, and share her stories with confidence. Stay tuned for the next chapter in Lily's journey to speak like a native speaker. Chapter 4: The Art of Storytelling. As Lily continued to build her confidence in speaking English, she discovered another powerful tool in her journey toward fluency: storytelling. She had always loved stories, whether they were from books, movies, or the tales shared by friends. Now she realized that storytelling could also help her express herself more clearly and engage others in conversation. One sunny afternoon, as Lily sat in her favorite cafe, she overheard a group of friends sharing funny anecdotes. Their laughter filled the air, and Lily felt inspired. She thought about how effective storytelling could be in creating connections and keeping conversations alive. With a fresh idea in mind, Lily decided to incorporate storytelling into her next conversation gathering. She envisioned a relaxed session where everyone could share their own stories, whether they were funny, inspiring, or simply memorable. She believed that this would not only enhance their speaking skills, but also allow them to learn more about each other. Excited about her plan, Lily began to prepare. She created a simple outline for the gathering, emphasizing that everyone should feel comfortable sharing stories. She encouraged her friends to think of experiences that brought them joy or lessons they had learned. The thought of hearing everyone's unique perspectives made her even more eager. When the day of the gathering arrived, Lily set the stage in her living room once again. She arranged the cushions, prepared snacks, and set out a few drinks. This time she added a special touch: a story jar. The jar was filled with colorful slips of paper, each with a different storytelling prompt written on it. This would help spark ideas for those who needed a little inspiration. As her friends arrived, they were greeted with the familiar warm atmosphere. Lily explained the plan for the evening and introduced the story jar. If you're unsure what to share, just pick a prompt from the jar. It can be anything from your most embarrassing moment to your dream vacation, she said with a smile. The room buzzed with excitement as they began to share their stories. Lily kicked off the storytelling by sharing a funny experience from her childhood. She recalled the time she tried to bake cookies for her family, but accidentally used salt instead of sugar. The group erupted in laughter as she described the puzzled expressions on her family's faces when they took their first bites. Lily noticed how storytelling allowed her friends to open up. One by one, they shared their own experiences, each more entertaining and heartfelt than the last. Mark shared a humorous story about a camping trip gone wrong, while another friend, Maria, talked about her adventures learning to ride a bike as a child. As they took turns sharing, Lily encouraged them to ask questions and engage with each story. "What was the funniest part of your camping trip?" she asked Mark, prompting him to elaborate. This created an interactive environment where everyone felt involved and connected. After everyone had a chance to share, Lily decided to introduce a new element to their storytelling. "Let's do a round of finish the story," she proposed. "I'll start with a sentence, and then we'll go around the circle, each adding a sentence to build the story." Everyone eagerly agreed, and Lily began with an intriguing opening. "Once upon a time in a small village, there was a magical tree that granted wishes." The group took turns adding to the story, and laughter erupted as their wild imaginations led them down unexpected paths. The tale quickly transformed into a humorous adventure involving talking animals and unexpected plot twists. As the evening unfolded, Lily felt a sense of joy and accomplishment. Not only were they practicing their speaking skills, but they were also creating a bond through storytelling. She realized how powerful stories could be in breaking down barriers and fostering connections. After the gathering, Lily sat down with her journal, eager to document the night. She wrote about the different stories shared, the laughter that filled the room, and how storytelling had transformed their conversations. She also noted some new vocabulary and phrases she had learned throughout the evening. Over the next few weeks, Lily continued to focus on storytelling in her conversations with Liam. She shared her experiences from the gathering and discussed the importance of storytelling in different cultures. Liam introduced her to various storytelling techniques, such as using descriptive language, creating suspense, and building relatable characters. During one of their calls, Liam said, "Lily, storytelling is an art. The more you practice, the better you'll become. It's not just about the words, it's about the emotion and connection behind them." Chapter 5. Discovering Cultural Nuances. As Lily immersed herself deeper into the world of storytelling and conversation, she began to recognize an essential aspect of language learning: cultural nuances. Understanding the subtleties of language, like idioms, slang, and cultural references, would enrich her communication and help her connect with native speakers on a deeper level. One evening, while chatting with Liam during their video call, Lily mentioned a story idea she had involving a traditional British festival. She wanted to include elements that highlighted British culture, but she realized she needed to learn more about the cultural context behind these traditions. "Liam, could you tell me more about some of the popular festivals in Britain?" she asked. "I want to understand their significance and how people celebrate them." Liam was thrilled by her curiosity. Sure, Lily. One of the most famous festivals is Guy Fawkes Night, also known as Bonfire Night. It's celebrated on November 5th and commemorates the foiling of the gunpowder plot in 1605. People light bonfires and set off fireworks to mark the event. Lily was intrigued. That sounds fascinating. Are there any foods or traditions associated with it? Liam smiled and replied, Yes. People often eat toffee apples and parkin, which is a gingerbread cake. There are also fireworks displays that light up the sky. It's a fun night for families to come together. As their conversation continued, Liam shared more about different cultural celebrations, including Christmas and Halloween. Lily listened eagerly, taking notes in her journal. She felt inspired to incorporate these elements into her storytelling, creating narratives that reflected authentic cultural experiences. Later that week, Lily decided to focus her upcoming conversation gathering on cultural celebrations from around the world. She wanted her friends to share stories about their own cultural traditions and the festivals that were significant to them. This would not only be a great opportunity for them to practice speaking, but also for everyone to learn about diverse cultures. Lily crafted an invitation that highlighted the theme, Cultural Celebrations Night. She encouraged everyone to bring a story or experience related to a festival or tradition they cherished. Anticipation built as her friends responded positively, eager to share their stories. On the night of the gathering, Lily set the atmosphere with decorations inspired by various festivals. She displayed colorful streamers and fairy lights, creating a festive ambiance. The snacks were inspired by different cultures, including samosas, spring rolls, and cupcakes, decorated with flags from around the world. When her friends arrived, Lily explained the theme and kicked off the evening with her own story about a festival she celebrated with her family. The Lunar New Year. In my culture, we celebrate the Lunar New Year with a big family day, lots of delicious food, and fireworks to scare away bad luck, she shared, describing the vibrant traditions and customs surrounding the celebration. Her friends listened attentively, and when she finished, they eagerly took turns sharing their own cultural celebrations. Mark spoke about Diwali, the Festival of Lights, and how his family would light oil lamps and share sweets. Maria shared her experiences celebrating Thanksgiving with her family, expressing gratitude and sharing a feast together. As the evening progressed, the room was filled with laughter, curiosity, and a sense of togetherness. Lily encouraged everyone to ask questions after each story, fostering engaging dialogue. "What is your favorite dish during Diwali?" one friend asked, prompting Mark to elaborate on the delicious treats his family prepared. Lily noticed how their storytelling enriched the conversation, allowing everyone to practice their English while sharing meaningful experiences. She felt a growing sense of connection among her friends, transcending language barriers through the shared understanding of cultural significance. After everyone had a chance to share their stories, Lily suggested they play a game inspired by the cultural theme. "Let's play cultural trivia. I'll ask questions about different festivals, and let's see how much we know about each other's cultures," she proposed. The group eagerly participated, and Lily took turns asking questions like, In which country do people celebrate Carnival with vibrant parades and costumes? The room erupted with laughter and friendly competition as they answered questions and learned new facts about different cultures. With the help of her journal, Lily discovered the beauty of weaving stories with vivid descriptions and relatable characters. She started to create short fictional tales, drawing inspiration from her own experiences and those shared by her friends. Each story was a new opportunity to experiment with language and express herself creatively. One day, Lily decided to share one of her short stories with her conversation group. She felt a mix of nerves and excitement as she prepared for the gathering. "I've written a short story, and I'd like to share it with you all," she announced when everyone had settled in. As she read her story aloud, she could see her friends' reactions. They were engaged, leaning in to listen, and she felt a surge of confidence. When she finished, they erupted in applause and encouraged her to write more. Lily realized that sharing her stories not only helped her practice her English, but also inspired others. They began to share their own written stories, and soon the conversation group evolved into a mini writers' club, where they would critique each other's work and provide support. As her journey continued, Lily became more and more passionate about the art of storytelling. She discovered that language was not just a tool for communication, it was a way to connect with others on a deeper level. Through stories, she could share her experiences, dreams, and ideas. With each new story she crafted, Lily felt a sense of empowerment. She was not just learning to speak like a native speaker. She was becoming a storyteller, weaving her words into a tapestry of experiences that resonated with others. As she reflected on her journey, Lily knew that storytelling would always be a part of her English learning experience. It was a skill that could transcend language barriers and bring people together, and she was excited to continue honing it in the chapters to come. Lily took this advice to heart. She began to practice telling stories with more emotion, using her voice and body language to convey feelings. She would often rehearse her stories in front of a mirror, focusing on her expressions and intonation. One day, Lily decided to try a new approach. She would record herself telling a story and then listen to the playback. This way, she could analyze her delivery and identify areas for improvement. She chose a simple story about a family vacation to the beach and began to narrate it passionately. After listening to the recording, Lily realized she had made significant progress. She was excited about how much more natural her storytelling felt. With each practice, she grew more confident and expressive in her speaking. Feeling inspired, Lily began to explore storytelling through writing as well. She started keeping a creative journal where she could jot down her thoughts, experiences, and stories. This outlet not only helped her practice her writing skills, but also allowed her to reflect on her journey and the lessons she had learned. As the night drew to a close, Lily reflected on the richness of their discussions. She felt grateful for the diverse backgrounds represented in the room and the connections forged through storytelling. Understanding cultural nuances added depth to her language learning experience, and she recognized that embracing diversity was an essential part of communicating effectively. After the gathering, Lily sat down to journal about the night. She wrote about the stories shared, the new cultural insights she had gained, and how the gathering had deepened her understanding of her friends. She noted down new vocabulary and phrases related to cultural celebrations, ensuring she would remember them for future conversations. Lily's journey to learn English was not just about mastering grammar or vocabulary. It was about connecting with people, understanding their stories, and appreciating the beauty of diverse cultures. She felt excited to continue exploring these aspects of language learning. In her subsequent video calls with Liam, Lily began to incorporate more cultural discussions into their conversations. She asked him about British humor, idiomatic expressions, and even regional accents. Liam was more than happy to oblige, sharing anecdotes and examples that made the language come alive. "Do you know what it means when someone says they are chuffed to bits?" Liam asked during one of their calls. Lily chuckled at the phrase. "No, what does it mean?" "It means they're really happy or pleased about something," Liam explained. Lily made a note of it in her journal, eager to use it in future conversations. The more she learned about cultural nuances, the more she felt empowered to express herself confidently. She found herself using idioms and cultural references in her conversations, enriching her interactions with native speakers. Each new expression was a tool that allowed her to paint a more vibrant picture of her thoughts and experiences. With every story shared and every cultural nuance explored, Lily felt more connected to the English language and its speakers. She recognized that language was not just a set of rules, but a reflection of the people and cultures that created it. A living tapestry woven with stories, traditions, and shared experiences. As she continued on her journey, Lily was excited about the adventures ahead. She looked forward to more conversations, more stories, and more opportunities to connect with others through the power of language. Chapter 6. A Celebration of Progress. As Lily continued her journey toward fluency, she reached a pivotal moment that encapsulated all her hard work and dedication. With the help of her friends, her storytelling, and her growing understanding of cultural nuances, she began to feel confident speaking English. It was time to celebrate not just her achievements, but also the friendships and connections she had formed along the way. Lily decided to host a fluency celebration to mark her progress and invite her friends to join in the festivities. She envisioned an evening filled with storytelling, laughter, and a shared appreciation for their diverse journeys in learning and speaking English. She felt that this celebration would be a fitting way to express gratitude to everyone who had supported her. She began planning the event meticulously. She chose a date, created colorful invitations, and decided on a theme: stories from around the world. Lily encouraged her friends to bring a story, poem, or even a song from their culture to share during the celebration. This would not only highlight their unique backgrounds, but also allow them to practice speaking in a fun and engaging way. On the night of the celebration, Lily transformed her living room into a vibrant space, filled with decorations inspired by different cultures. She hung flags, streamers, and fairy lights, creating an inviting atmosphere. A table was filled with a variety of snacks from around the world: samosas, sushi, tacos, and pastries, representing the diverse cultures of her friends. As her guests arrived, the energy in the room was electric. Lily greeted each friend with a smile, feeling grateful for their presence. She explained the evening's theme and encouraged everyone to participate actively. Tonight we're not just celebrating my journey, but also each of yours. Let's share our stories and learn from one another, she said. The evening began with Lily sharing her own story about her experience learning English. She spoke about the challenges she faced, the importance of storytelling, and how cultural nuances had enriched her understanding of the language. Her friends listened intently, nodding in appreciation as she recounted her journey. Once Lily finished, the floor was open for others to share. Mark was the first to step up, sharing a humorous story about his attempts to learn English slang. I thought I was being cool when I said lit to describe a party, but I didn't realize it was already outdated. He laughed, prompting everyone to chuckle and reminisce about their own language blunders. Maria followed, sharing a heartfelt poem in Spanish and then translating it into English. The poem spoke about the beauty of family and traditions, and her emotional delivery captivated everyone. Lily felt moved by the powerful words and the cultural depth Maria brought to the gathering. As the evening progressed, the stories flowed freely. Liam shared a hilarious tale about his travels to another country, filled with misunderstandings due to language barriers. Another friend shared a traditional folk song from her culture, encouraging everyone to join in and sing along. The atmosphere was filled with laughter, camaraderie, and a sense of celebration. After everyone had a chance to share, Lily suggested they play a fun game to close the evening. Let's play cultural charades. I'll write down phrases or actions related to different cultures, and we act them out without using words. It'll be a fun way to showcase our knowledge and creativity, she proposed. The group eagerly agreed, and the laughter escalated as they took turns acting out various cultural scenarios, from mimicking traditional dances to enacting famous festivals. As the night wrapped up, Lily felt a deep sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. She looked around at her friends, feeling grateful for the support and encouragement they had offered throughout her journey. The celebration was not just a milestone for her, but a testament to the bonds they had created through their shared experiences. Before everyone left, Lily gathered her friends for a group photo. "This night means so much to me, and I want to remember it forever," she said, smiling widely. They posed together, capturing the essence of their friendships and the joyful spirit of the evening. Later that night, after her friends had departed, Lily took some time to reflect on the celebration. She opened her journal and wrote about the evening, documenting the stories shared, the laughter experienced, and the deep connections formed. She felt a renewed sense of motivation to continue improving her English and sharing her love for storytelling. With her journey of learning English far from over, Lily was excited about the future. She knew that she still had plenty to learn, but she felt confident that she could navigate any challenges ahead. The friendships she had built, the stories she had shared, and the cultural insights she had gained would serve as her foundation. As she closed her journal, Lily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. She was grateful for the support of her friends, the knowledge she had gained, and the progress she had made. With a heart full of joy, she knew she was well on her way to becoming not just a fluent English speaker, but also a confident storyteller. Lily's journey would continue, filled with more adventures, stories, and connections. She felt excited to embrace whatever came next, knowing that each step forward was a celebration of her growth. Thanks for joining me today on my English channel. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest videos. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Happy learning, everyone!